Hello, and welcome to the training module on understanding the cybersecurity talent marketplace in partnership with the Society for Human Resource Management and the SANS Institute. In this segment, we will explore the underlying trends that are driving today's remarkable shortage of cybersecurity talent, the downstream impact of that shortage, and what you, an HR and talent professional, can do to better prepare your organization to succeed in this environment. First, let me introduce my colleague, Marian Merritt, the Deputy Director of NICE in the U.S. Department of Commerce. Marian, welcome.
Thank you.
First, tell us a little bit about NICE and the work that you do.
With pleasure. NICE is a program office led by NIST, or the National Institute of Standards and Technology, within the U.S. Department of Commerce. We work as a convener to support the nation in advancing an integrated ecosystem of cybersecurity education, training, and workforce development. First, let's just understand what is cybersecurity work. Typical jobs in cybersecurity include cybersecurity analyst, SOC or Secure Operations Center teams, people who work in cloud security, vulnerability assessments, or have the title of Chief Information Security Officer. It's a widely varied field, and depending on the sector your employer is in, the roles that include cybersecurity work can be quite broad. There are pathways into cybersecurity from software development, computer engineering, information technology, network management, legal, even purchasing. The field is still relatively new and continues to evolve all the time. Now, if you're not already familiar with NICE, I would like to invite you to join our Community Coordinating Council. We meet every month to share news, research, ideas, best practices about the cybersecurity workforce. Our members include representatives from industry, government, academia, nonprofits, international organizations, and even students. You can learn more on our website at nist.gov/NICE and just look under Community. You can also join one of our 3 working groups and 6 communities of interest on specialty topics. Now, our best-known work product is the NICE Workforce Framework for Cybersecurity. This resource enables the profession to agree on language to describe the work that people do in cybersecurity, as well as the knowledge and skills required to perform work-related tasks. You can learn more about the NICE framework in a later SANS-SHRM segment or by visiting our NICE Framework Resource Center on our website. Now, NICE also supports the development of metrics and data for the nation's cybersecurity workforce. One such resource to learn about is the cyberseek.org website, which is a heat map showing supply and demand of cybersecurity workers in the United States. Now, as of April 2024, the nation's employers are advertising for over 400,000 more cybersecurity professionals, and that number continues to evolve as employers seek talent with different specialty or skill areas.
What is driving some of that remarkable demand?
Several factors. First, the incredible growth in cybersecurity and privacy threats. There are ongoing attacks on organizations of every size by individuals, criminals, even nation states to disrupt our activities, steal our data, and frequently to make money from their cybercriminal work. As the threats keep coming, organizations that might have previously thought they were immune or just too small to be hit, they're recognizing that this is simply not true. Every company, organization, every city and state is at risk from a cyber attack, and therefore new positions in cybersecurity are being created all the time and demand remains very high. Yet recently we've seen the numbers on CyberSeek for open positions go down a bit of late, and we're attributing this shift to some workforce consolidation by employers in tech sectors, such as those in the Silicon Valley, but also with investments shifting to support newer fields such as artificial intelligence and machine learning. Yet we know that these newer technology areas will have an impact on our cybersecurity work and create new opportunities for blended knowledge and skills. So we can expect to see an ebb and flow on specific job demand continue.
So a robust job market for new talent, that should be a pretty positive thing for people looking to enter the field?
You would think so. But we know we still have some issues that can make it very challenging for smart, talented, and skilled people to enter this field.
Issues like what?
There's a lot of exciting work being done to prepare people to enter the cybersecurity field and for those in other areas to reskill and upskill to enter cybersecurity. And looking at just one example, the very prestigious Centers of Academic Excellence Designated Programs, or CAEs, which are sponsored by the National Security Agency, are 2- and 4-year programs with cyber defense, cyber operations, and cyber research programs. Today, there are several hundred institutions of higher learning that have achieved this designation. Now, if you're someone who has recently completed a cybersecurity certificate, degree, or education program, you're most likely looking at entry-level jobs, right? Well, if you look at many of those job descriptions, they often list requirements beyond what is typically considered entry-level. It's not unusual to see requirements of 3 to 5 years of experience and cybersecurity degrees, as well as advanced industry certifications and knowledge of many different cybersecurity technology platforms. The term people use for these rare individuals with all of this advanced talent is unicorns. And the industry just doesn't have enough of them to fulfill demand. And it can be discouraging to see an entry-level role described as requiring such a lengthy resume to qualify. Fortunately, we're seeing some positive trends away from these overspec job descriptions, and one effort is called skills-based hiring. This is when job descriptions are revised to focus on the skills needed in the position, and hiring managers are encouraged to drop or minimize the requirements for advanced degrees or expensive professional certifications, unless they're related to the role. These skills-based hiring efforts can widen the field of who can qualify for your positions, and it may actually encourage people who've previously would have self-selected out of the process and never even apply. Naturally, in your organization, and many like it, it's normal to want to get these experienced and very qualified people. Managers might say, I need someone who can step right into the role and be immediately productive. Well, what happens when every company approaches their cybersecurity hiring like this, trying to get that same kind of experienced person? Well, it leads to poaching and turnover among staff. You might look on a professional website for people who already know your systems, technology, or your business sector. And in fact, most cybersecurity professionals report they're getting multiple calls each week from recruiters.
So for any organization trying to build up a solid cybersecurity team, this must be problematic.
Absolutely. You've got high recruiting costs, impact to employee morale, and of course, understaffed teams, overwork, and potential for burnout.
And for some sectors, there are special requirements in hiring, like security clearances for defense-related work.
Yes, good point. All of which leads to a need for organizations to really think differently about getting ahead of this issue. Especially if your organization is investing in cutting-edge technology such as AI, you may just not find that right mix of talent you want on the open job market. And therefore, you've got to consider what skills matter most and where you might need to offer that new hire some additional time, training, and mentoring once they're on the job.
So we've discussed skill-based hiring, which is a very positive trend to keep our eyes on. What else are we seeing for companies interested in building stable teams through internal investments?
First, developing training with SHRM and SANS is one of those positive efforts. The more we understand why the cybersecurity job market is tight and why establishing good job descriptions, focusing on skills, matters. Additionally, we see companies building out robust career pathways, which can help your internal candidates spot opportunities to reskill for cybersecurity roles. Rotational programs where staff might train to work in a variety of IT and cybersecurity positions, they're also interesting to see, though they can be tricky to get right. These sorts of programs, upskilling, reskilling, apprenticeships even, let's be honest, they can be costly for companies to invest in. Well, the data shows that the time and cost to train is much lower than you might imagine. An ISC2 study showed it's less than $1,000 to provide training for a new cybersecurity employee. And it's under a year for someone to become fully independent in their job.
What about apprenticeships?
We at NICE are very bullish on apprenticeships. A company can partner in various ways to identify people with potential, pay them a fair wage while they learn, support them with mentoring, and provide a full-time position when they complete the program, usually in a year or so. Apprenticeships may also enable an organization to address their diversity goals. And here's the best thing about apprentices: they stick around. Retention rates are far above regular new hires because you've provided them with customized training for your environment and you've supported them in growing with you. The return on investment is very good too, averaging over $1.44 for every dollar spent, and there are government programs that can help offset some of your training costs. Now, apprenticeships are not the same as internships, but internships and college programs are another great way to get talent ready for jobs in your company. There are numerous programs to help hiring organizations bring on transitioning military and military spouses. And if you visit the NICE website, you will find we have a dedicated veterans resource page that highlights a few of these great efforts. But the hallmark of any mature organization's approach to talent isn't just in bringing in junior talent. It lies in a full understanding of cybersecurity roles on your team and the types of knowledge and skills needed to perform the tasks that make up cybersecurity and cybersecurity-related work. Once you've evaluated your staff requirements and aligned your positions to the NICE framework, other benefits emerge, such as being able to create robust career pathways, being able to spot talent in adjacent areas like your IT help desk or networking, and show them how to train to qualify for your cybersecurity positions. We often see talent from completely unrelated fields like marketing and finance do extremely well in cybersecurity roles, but you need a mechanism to identify their attitude and aptitude and then guide them to programs that can help them reskill for these roles. It takes some work, and it takes vision to see the potential.
So let's imagine a scenario where an organization is working to create these kinds of robust cybersecurity teams. What are some of the first steps?
The people with responsibility for these teams may have titles like Chief Information Security Officer or Chief Technical Officer, and they should partner with their human capital equivalents to set these team development goals. Begin working together to identify everyone in your organization with some level of cybersecurity job responsibility. It may be that there are people who spend just 25% of their time on cybersecurity while others spend 100%. The NICE framework can really help you spot those less obvious participants. Now, then you'll identify where those work roles sit in the NICE framework, and this can help an organization spot skill gaps in their team, as well as identify training opportunities for everyone. Training for the team you have today is a crucial way organizations can buffer the impact of talent shortage. And providing the training and giving employees time at work to take their courses and practice skills ensures you aren't adding to the already challenging work-life balance that's found in cybersecurity. We can't keep asking everyone to train on their own time while also requiring it for them to advance in their careers. And consider where mentoring of talent can fit into everyone's job description. This can help support the creation of internship, apprenticeship, upskill and reskilling programs, as well as provide that mentoring experience that can support pathways to management and leadership roles.
Other metrics like retention, time to hire, and those?
Well, those are crucial to measure. I mean, you can't fix what you don't understand. Cybersecurity managers and human capital experts should regularly track longevity for the cybersecurity staff, measuring turnover, morale measures, as well as measure the development of their enrichment programs. You need to know who's leaving and who's staying and what are the key factors. If you don't measure this, you can't address it. But be sure to find ways to highlight your teams as well for positive attention. Cybersecurity work is very challenging work, with daily and ever evolving threats and occasional events that may require long hours. Feature your team members on internal websites and describe the work they do. And during October, which is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, you can create events that are more than just cybersecurity training. Ensure your cybersecurity people feel recognized, invested in, and supported. I truly hope you will consider joining our NICE Community Coordinating Council and perhaps one of our other working groups and communities of interest. Additionally, we offer monthly webinars on a wide variety of topics, all related to this shared interest in addressing the world of the cybersecurity workforce. And mark your calendars for June when we have our annual NICE conference and December for our NICE K-12 conference, which is dedicated to creating more career awareness and opportunities for the workforce of tomorrow. We at NICE firmly believe that by adopting an all-of-team approach to cybersecurity talent management, any organization can invest in ongoing learning, training, and talent development that will lead to high-performing cybersecurity staff. Working together, we can build a future for highly skilled and diverse cybersecurity teams with high retention rates, great job satisfaction, and excellent morale.